Hello and welcome to another episode of WELLTALK, where today we are going to be talking about money, money, money. My name is Svetlana Deshais and I'm going to be joined in the studio by a wealth manager with Devere Akuma, a senior wealth manager. Please join me in welcoming Svetlana Deshais. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me today, Faris.
Now, have you always naturally been good with money, or is it something that you yourself had to learn as well?
Very good question. Do you know, I say it was natural to me because I come from very humble background, and I think I believe in education starting at home, and my parents brainwashed me being good with money. So yes, I was actually very good from very young age with money, thanks to my parents.
I think I've had a similar experience to you. We came from very humble backgrounds while also being around affluence. We sort of got to live with both. We didn't feel like we were deprived. What do you see a common theme is with people who are not good with money?
Just living beyond what they can afford, really. And actually, they are very stressed people. I think the good example was in COVID, you know. I think that's when it really hit home hard, many people realizing we don't have enough money. And I believe since those times, people change the behavior, how they look at financial planning, how they budget, because they've never experienced that before. It was a good lesson to us all, actually. And that's when I saw that people took it very seriously that, oh, we can't just live. You need to be prepared for the worst because life does happen.
Yeah, things can happen. So what would you say is one major piece of advice you'd give to somebody in their 20s or 30s who are not yet very financially literate?
Very simple. Plan. I swear, just plan. Plan for future. What do you want in life? You know, what are your dreams? I'm a dream catcher. I catched every single dream in my life. And I just actually catch one today. I think it's my last one. But today I've done a very big step in my life this morning before this talk show. But yeah, the advice is plan.
Well, don't leave us in suspense. What happened?
I purchased a business this morning.
Congratulations!
Actually, my first. So yes, it's just a crazy journey, but that's my little girl dream, and this is my last dream. I don't know what others come. I'm always dreaming, but I plan for it. And I had loads of dreams in my life, and that's why I say I'm a dream catcher. I plan for those dreams. I had them planned. I had the vision of those dreams. I designed how am I going to get there, and I achieved them all.
Amazing. Well, how do we get there? So it's good to say, have a plan. And obviously everyone's plan is different. But what sort of steps can people undertake to create that plan?
Okay, so you need to first, to be able to dream. Did you have a dreams?
I did have a dream, yes.
Okay.
I think I still have a dream, and that's
still
to
have a
be
dream.
work optional.
Okay, so you've got the dream first, yeah? It's really important to you for many different reasons. So you write down that dream, you take a magazine and take that picture of that dream, could be your dream house. I get married every 5 years to the same man, you won't believe it, yeah? But it's my dream white wedding, and I get married every 5 years. So I have a picture of it on my vision board. So now you've got the dream, you know how it looks like. Now you need to plan, how do you get there? So I need to understand, when do I want to get again married? Well, it's a 5-year plan. How much is it going to cost me? So I make literally every day, how much do I need to put away? I have to put 100 dirhams away every day for the next 5 years to have my dream wedding happening. So you need to break it down then with the numbers. If you don't know the numbers, the dream stays dream. If you don't know how to get there. My other dream, just to give you an idea, how do you make the dream happen? My little girl dream was working on a cruise ship. Don't ask me why, but there was a program back in the days called Love Boat, and I used to watch it every Sunday. And I said to my mum, I was about 7, and I said to Mum, one day I'll be on that boat. I end up on that boat, but it wasn't that straightforward. When I was 19, I jumped on the bus with one-way ticket to London because I've realized I can't be on the Love Boat. I need to speak English. Okay, so you take a picture of the Love Boat. You need to speak English to get that job. So I went to England for 2 years to learn my English. After you learn English, then you apply for the job. You end up on the boat, yeah? You get the job. You work there, you realize it's too hard, but you've done it. You've seen loads of countries. So I had to plan, how do I get to that boat? English first, then apply for the job, get the job, and save money so you can actually fly out. So I've done that. I planned it. Just plan.
You really are the dream catcher. Now, I'm sure a lot of people, they have these dreams. They know the basic stuff when it comes to saving money and how to achieve that financial independence, but obviously they're tripping over at some point. What are some life hacks that you'd give people on how to help save money and achieve those dreams in general?
Okay, life hacks. I live on budget. Okay, it's just natural to me. I have a budget for everything. When I get paid, I go to cash machine, I withdraw 1,500 dirhams and I live on 500,000 dirhams. That is it. I know nobody is using cash anymore. But when you see it physically, when you feel the money is going, it just helps you to not overspend, because tack, you've got no idea how much money you already spent, or you don't check your bank account. So that's one. Second, delete all your apps that push you to buy. Yeah, just delete it basically and keep the favorite ones. Brands for Less is one of mine. Yeah, just keep it there. Another one, when you really feel you need to buy something, we all get those feelings. I'm a shopaholic too. You put it in the basket, but don't press button buy. You leave it there for 48 hours and you will realize in 2 days, actually, you don't need any of that in the basket. So you just release it and you calm down again. Do your lunch boxes. I do that. Saves me fortune, actually. 30, 40 dirhams a day. You can reduce to half if you cook, and I do bodybuilding, so it's important what I eat, actually. So that helps me reduce the cost. And automated, I think saving is a big one, yeah, of course. But if you don't have automated system in place, you just can't achieve it.
What sort of automated system do you mean?
I get paid. The next day, money is leaving to my saving account. Simple. Whatever the vehicle you choose, could be offshore saving account, could be a platform that you invest on. It just leaves. It leaves my account and then I live with whatever left.
I would say when it comes to saving money and financial planning, it's a lot like dieting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you. It's what you do dictate how it's going to be for you, yeah? So if you eat McDonald's every day, then yes, you're not going to look what you want to look, yeah? Financial's the same. If you don't save money, money will not save you later on. It's just the same principles. So yeah, I have a financial six-pack, and I have in the gym, as I do professional bodybuilding, I've got a body six-pack, yeah? And the principles are 6, yeah? Is number 1, you need to live well, yeah? The main point of you being here today is to have a good life, yeah? We've been given a life, so let's enjoy. That's number 1. You have to be happy. Number 2, you need to have emergency money. Yeah, you need to have emergency money. Something happens, you lose a job tomorrow. Okay, how are you going to pay the bills next 2-3 months until you catch another job? Number 2, very important. In the gym is the same. You need to have some kind of emergencies, I don't know, exercise or whatever it might be, or physio. You need to have a physio. You know where you're going to go when you get hurt. Number 3, you need to have a home at some point in your life. Everybody wants home. Why? Because when you retire, you've got no income or not as much income, so you don't want to have a high rent. So therefore, at some point in life, you need to jump on the ladder and buy yourself a property that it's fully paid off. So when you retire, you've got no rent to pay. Gym, you find your best gym where you feel motivated, yeah? When we're talking about exercise, I work at the gym, but it's so dirty and sweaty, but it's full of bodybuilders, and it just motivates me to achieve what I need to achieve. So same. Then you've got pension, yeah? Very boring. People sometimes ask me not to mention that word at the meeting. So I was like, okay, retirement, planning, no, don't like to say that. Okay, well, where is the money going to come from? Call it whatever you want. When you stop working, you need income. Where is the income going to come from? Okay, the roof is paid, you've got no rent, but how are you going to pay your utility bills, your car registration, and all these maintenance? You've got grandchildren then, where is the money going to come to enjoy them and go to a restaurant if you want, do your hair, whatever it might be, yeah? All these little luxuries, where's the money coming from? You have to plan for it. The more time you give yourself, the better for you. Body six pack, let's just go back to the gym. If you don't plan what you want to achieve, you don't know. You just turn up to the gym, you sweat a little and you go home. You feel good. It's okay. But it's nice to have that vision. What do you want to be? Well, I just want to lose 5 kg. I want to have more muscle tone. So you need to understand what you're trying to achieve, but it takes with time. Yeah. Then you've got, so that's pension. Then you've got kids education. Number 5, kids education, people leave it too late, yeah? And in this part of the world, what happens is kids want to go to university where their little friend is going. Let's go to UK, let's study together. They build that little dream. They come home and realize parents actually don't have money to do that. So it's a bit of a tough conversations happening at home. Give yourself time. Have you got children?
I haven't got children, not yet.
Okay, so when they come one day, if they come, if you're blessed, when they get born, you've got 18 years to plan that. It's just so less stressful. I've got 3 kids. If I wouldn't plan that when they were born, I think I would be pretty stressed, just like many people out there. When they're 14 and you start planning for uni in 4 years, that's stressful and many times unachievable. So they are more likely to start with the loans, debts, or parents take personal loans. So give yourself that time. 18 years is a long time. So sort that out. Then that's kids' education sorted. And the last spot is something happens to my husband, for example, yeah? He's 50, something happens to him. I've got 3 little ones who are my liability. Where's the money going to come from? Where is his income? How is the second income going to be replaced? It's your insurance. That's it, 2% of your income, insurance. Get a cheap life insurance, critical illness, done. That's your 6 pots. There is nothing else to plan in financial planning. If these 6 pots or packs are working at the same time, you are financially organized, stress less, and enjoy the life.
Absolutely. And it seems simple enough. It seems like more people should have a grasp of it. But I feel like when it comes to financial planning, there's a big mental aspect, a discipline aspect, and an ego aspect as well. Because I was talking to my younger brother, and he said he wanted to buy some car or something. And I told him, you should save money. He's like, yeah, but why not enjoy it? And I said, because the friends you had 5 years ago, you don't have those friends now. So why would you buy something to impress people you might not know in 5 years' time? Because in 5 years' time, you're going to have money in the bank, and the people you know now are going to be in a much worse situation. How much money do you think we spend or waste trying to impress other people, especially here in the UAE?
Wow. Well, living in the UAE for the last 10 years and doing 9 years financial planning, I see more people broke than in a good position. You won't believe how many people live UAE with less than what they came out with. It's shocking. And that's why actually I do the job that I do. I felt that I need to help these people. This is not okay to do all these fancy birthday parties, drive the car you can't afford. It's not good, yeah? You are right, your brother in 5 years' time, if he's got a cash instead of the car, and if the opportunity comes along because one of his may want to set up a business, for example, everybody wants to be very entrepreneur these days, he will have a cash to be able to do that. Yeah, the cash will save him. I had the same. I was living in England, I wanted the beautiful house on the corner of our street, and I really, really wanted it. My husband always said, Svet, if you buy the house, you won't live the life that we were planning to travel abroad, be flexible and so on. And if we want to set up a business, we will not have money. We can't do both. So we didn't have that house on the corner. And thanks God, because 12 months later, he received a phone call from a friend. He's like, hi, I'm looking for a new venture. Do you want to set up a business? Do you want to be my partner? But of course, you need to be cash rich. And thanks God, we had no house, no mortgage. We had cash. And that brought us to Middle East. And that's why we have a business. And that's why we have a life we have today, because we didn't buy the house we could not actually afford at that time.
And it's interesting because you mention a plan that you had with each other for the future, sort of like a vision. Do you think it helps people to have a vision board and that's going to help them with their planning?
120%. The vision board is everything. If you come to my office or you ask my boss, it's always there. It's on the side of my desk, and I've got every year I sit down and I do physical vision board. That's why I catch every dream, because I've got 12 months to achieve it. doesn't have to be loads of actions. I think that's where people go wrong. They want everything in January and by March, nothing. Just choose 3 per year, okay? 3 per year, what you're going to achieve, and then do the action. How do you get there? Well, if you want to have a six-pack, back to your exercise, you need a trainer. I'm sorry, you're not going to achieve it on your own. Or you are very disciplined, yeah? Okay, I want a six-pack. How do I get there? Well, I'm going to hire a trainer. I'm going to train 4 times a week. I'm going to have a nutrition guy who's going to help me, support me. I'm going to follow people who inspire me. And then I'm going to take pictures before, and I'm going to take pictures every month, and I'm going to see my transformation, and maybe I'm going to compete. If you put that on the vision board in the pictures, you'll be surprised what you achieve. And shame on you to yourself 12 months later if you failed. Now, happened to me, yes, I have missed once a dream on that particular year. What do? You take the picture away and you just put it on your new one. It's like, right, last year didn't work out. You move it to your new year picture, not the end of the world, but then you focus on that one first and the other 2 you do later.
It is interesting that we're sort of combining new world ideas like vision boards to accounting, essentially. So yes. I wanted to ask, what would you say are 3 affirmations for financial abundance?
Right, I love that. Every morning when I brush my teeth, call me crazy. But when I brush my teeth and you watch in the mirror how amazing you are, I always say to myself, I love money and money loves me. It's just in my brain. I brainwash myself. I love money and the money loves me. Just attracts it, yeah? I think it attracts your thoughts. Second one is, if you don't change, Svet, don't expect different results. If I don't change my spending behavior, I cannot be better off. Fact. So I tell that to myself. I'm talking to the mirror. What else would be? If I save money, the money will save me. If I wouldn't save money, I wouldn't have a business today that I purchased. It's just fact. So these are my main ones that I use, and I teach my kids. They brainwash too.
I mean, good. I think you're going to really create some generational wealth there. So let's get to the action stage. Somebody's not been very good with money. They've got some credit card debts. We know that they need to have an emergency fund. They need to have that saved up. Would you say 3 to 6 months of expenses?
I would say it used to be 3 to 4, but COVID taught us that that was just not enough.
6 to 12 now.
Yeah, I say 5. I think 5 because it's a lot of money if you think about how much expense is per month. So do your expenses, fix bills, times by 5. 5 months, you need to find a job. You've got 2 hands, 2 legs, and you go. You've got a brain, you're going to find a job within 5 months, but you're not stressing where the money is coming from to pay your bills.
Excellent. Let's say we've done that, and my salary is around $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
What do I then do as soon as I get my paycheck? Instead of just keeping it in the bank, obviously I have no discipline to spend it correctly. What should I do?
Well, first of all, you need me. You need a financial advisor to pin you down and look what you do with your 12,000. So what you do, you get paid 12,000. You split it 3 ways, okay? 50%, it would be on your expenses. This is that you have to pay the bills, you have to live. So 50% expenses, so 6,000 there. Then 30%, it's on your wants. That's your life. That's where you live on. So that would be 3,600. And then 20%, you save for the future. That money that I was talking about, when you save, the money will save you. That 20% is your key magic number, which is 2,400. That is going aside straight away next day. And then you enjoy 3,600. You choose your branches, you choose your beach clubs, you choose whatever you want to buy. That's your budget for the month, but 50% pays the bills. That's it. It's as simple as that.
I want to talk about lifestyle inflation because let's say somebody was making 12,000 dirhams, they got a promotion, they're now making 16,000 dirhams, 18,000 dirhams, 20,000 dirhams. And what I notice a lot is people will adjust their spending habits to fit that new salary, and then they'll end up in the exact same situation they're in. Do we see a lot of this, especially in the UAE?
100%. You make more, you spend more, natural. So, you know, one hack I do, and I teach to my kids, and actually they catch me when I make a mistake, which is quite cute. When you go shopping and you're like, just picking up things, you know, and my kids pick it up from outside from the basket and like, Mummy, do you need it or do you want it? I said, oh, that's a very good question. Yeah, I don't need it actually. It's a realization. You put it back out. So you just that question is that magic hack question that, do I need it or do I want it? So when you, yeah, it's funny. When you make more money, you naturally want to treat yourself more. No, you don't. You just need to be disciplined. And if you are not disciplined person, you need your support. Who is your support? I'm your money doctor. I'm your support. Okay, people, my clients report to me, so I was about to cheat on myself. No, you don't spend it. So you need the support. When you want a six pack in the gym, you need your trainer to check on you. You know, what you're eating, how much, what did you have for breakfast, what did you have for lunch. Financial advisor, exactly the same, to help you with that discipline.
Absolutely. If somebody isn't in a position to get a financial advisor, are there other tools that they can use to help themselves? Some apps, perhaps?
100%. Even if you hate financial advisor, fair enough. You've got so many other, helps out there. Million apps now. Even banks, traditional banks do have their apps that you can monitor your spending. So they help you with that. I like to use Monify, simple free app. Monify, it's in the pictures. I'm quite a visual person and I like in pictures spending. There is a cocktail glass, so that's my outing. Basically, everything I spend, I log on the app. Everything, taxi, dentist, children activities, housing bills. So when you see green and red number and you are week free of your salary, you naturally just stop spending because you realize how much you spend. That number red is just so big. So then that last week you live on a bean and toast, really.
I mean, I'll give an example of that myself. When I was quitting smoking, I had an app where I would log every time I smoked, every time I didn't smoke, and it calculated how much I would have spent on that, an amount you don't think about.
Yeah.
After a couple of months, it was enough to purchase a virtual reality headset. You don't realize these small increments, do you? So what would you say to people who are like, I don't even spend that much money, but they've got subscriptions, they eat out a lot? How do we track these things?
How do you track? Well, that app would help you because you see the red number and you see which picture is majority. So if it's eating out, it flag out, 40% going out on takeaways. Really, you identify problem very easily visually from the picture. But I would say, I like to see the cash. This is the problem at the moment. Everything is on a card and it's so easy.
It doesn't feel like real money.
It doesn't feel real money. It feels like Monopoly, really. It's just virtual money. It's all great and it's all handy and safe and clean. But when you have the money and when the money goes, it's something about that feeling where you're giving it away, you've got a change, oh, how much change I've got left. You can manage it better. I'm very old school, but that works for me. That's why I have never been in debts, ever. I don't have a credit score, which is really bad. So to get a loan, it's like, what, madam, you've never been in credit cards, overpaid, No, it's a no-go for me. And I teach our kids, you make money and you separate straight away. Boom, 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 1, 2, 3. My kids, actually, very good one is you don't have kids. But Yet. But you might have a friends who do. And in this part of the world, kids got no value of money, okay? So first, when they're little, you give them cash, the real cash, so they feel it, garage sale and all of that, so important. And then when they become teenagers like mine, we just set them up Ed Fundo, and it's a debit card. So we control how much money goes in there. We see what they purchase, and they've got 3 pots. They're spending money, they can save a part, and then they've got a goal. So, for example, my son wants a yearly pass for Yas Water World, and he knows what's the price. He puts the goal, and then he's working for money and tracking how much he needs to have remaining to get that. I'm not buying it. So, but that's the only way to teach them. And they've got their little debit cards, and they can purchase with it. So it teach them responsibility to be, it's a valuable item. You don't tell your PIN. First purchase was very funny, I must admit. My son believed that the PIN is 5 digits, yeah? Obviously it's not, so he couldn't purchase anything on the first. And the second day he lost the card anyway, so. But it's a part of learning. And I think these days, it's so many tools out there. You just need to find which one works for you, choose the right tool, and that tool will support you where you need to get.
As you say, there are a lot of tools out there, and that's why I worry maybe when it comes to spending money, a lot of it has to do with ego. Do you think people need to look inwards? Do you think people need to ask themselves why they need to spend so much money? Do you think going to a therapist can help as well as a money advisor?
100%, yes. Yeah, I believe that. I don't know why people so showing off with welfare, you know? For me, it's crazy. Like I always, when I meet somebody, say, oh, you look lovely today. I was like, oh yeah, this was only 10 dirhams. This was only 5 dirhams. Straight away, I make sure that they think I look expensive, but it's not expensive. I don't know if it's part of my culture. We quite do that culturally. But people admire it. They're actually quite impressed with me. I would say, oh yeah, this is a second hand, you know. I'm quite proud of it. There's nothing wrong with it. But some people just can't do it. For them, it's a shame. So I think to learn how to be open about it, that, yeah, I'm saving up actually for my dream car, for example. So, yeah, I don't wear brandy clothes these days. That's why I'm just doing a cheaper brand or just a plain, simple.
Absolutely agree. It might actually be good for us, people watching, to not judge other people due to superficial reasons. Because I think the idea of credit cards, loans have completely ruined the traditional idea of wealth, because I think we're still holding on to, oh, big house, big car, that must mean they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But since we can buy things that we don't have the money for, that means we are admiring people based on how much they spend, not how much they have. Because you could be driving a beat up old car, but you've already bought your house and paid for it entirely in your 30s. No one would ever know. So do you think that's what we do? Do we think we project our ideas of wealth and onto other people and onto ourselves?
Yeah, I think I'm sorry to say, but I think social media makes us believe that only when you look good and when you have expensive stuff, you're cool. I think it's not cool at all. It's nice, don't take me wrong. I have nice items, but I worked for those items. And I actually try to be the other way around. I try to be cool for telling people how cheap dressed I am, or how cheaply I do my hairstyle. I go to a barber for 60 dirhams instead of 250. I'm not shy to say that. I think we have to stop that taboo, and we have to stop thinking that wealthy people are happy. Because wealthy people, I'm telling you, I see a lot of wealthy people, and you know what? They're really not happy. And then you see a very humble, like family who's struggling month to month. They are super happy with their relationship. They're really just a really nice couple. They love all over. I don't know. I think poorer people are happier, and richer people would like to have that, but they can't. The money overtaken, and the friends have changed, and the values are different.
I think it depends on what sparks joy. I think, you know, people can't save on everything. You still need to enjoy life. That's why we're here. How would you say that people should prioritize what they're spending their money on?
I think it's back to planning. What do you want? I mean, what do you really want? What is your dream? You've mentioned you've got a dream.
I want to be work optional, so I can work when I want to. I'm not beholden to a desk, and I can travel whenever I like and still have an income.
Yeah, so that is the financial freedom, yeah? You want to be financially free, and you want to work from wherever you are. It's a very trendy today, yeah? That's a big trend. That's what my kids think, that they're just going to be a YouTuber and they're going to make loads of money, yeah? It's like, hello, my darling. It's not that easy. More people want to do what you've just described. When it's more people doing that, that means the demand is, well, you're going to all make a bit less money, yeah? Because it's not so niche anymore. Nice thing to do. So you need to write how much income would you need, yeah, to have that lifestyle you just described. How many stream of income? You can't rely on one. So when one fail, I always say to my client, if you are a table with one leg, that leg breaks, everything's nothing's working. You have to take credit cards. You can't work from wherever you want, whenever you want. You can't have that flexibility. When you've got a table with 4 legs, like we have here, and one break, the table will still stand. Yeah, you're fixing it. It takes time to fix it. Even when 2 legs go, you still can make it. So you need to design somehow 4 streams of income, at least, to give you that flexibility. So you can do what you want when you want.
Absolutely.
Side hustles. is the new thing.
Side hustles are great. The advice has been amazing. So what I really want to ask you is, what money advice keep flying around that we should actually ignore?
Ignore, okay. Loads of time. At the moment, everybody's buying a property. Fantastic. People don't live because they're just paying the mortgages. There is no life, so the spending is much less. Yeah, the shops are much emptier, if you realize, because they all bought properties. They've got massive debts. They've got big liabilities. So I think don't listen that the rent is a dead money. I rented all my life. I've realized my needs changes as I get older. I don't need that big house I ever dreamt about because kids going to be out of house before we know it. So I actually need now just a 2-bedroom apartment with the nice view. So it changed dramatically my dream from 20s to 40s. But I know now that I will have cash to have that 2-bedroom apartment when I'm ready, when I know where the apartment will be. So renting is not a dead money because I save money. It's dead money when you don't save on a side, but I save on a side. So not everybody can buy the property, yeah? Not everybody can, people trying to get rich these days very quickly, yeah? Like, just buy crypto, you'll be rich in 5-10 years. No, don't listen to that. It's a no-go. And don't be afraid to say no, don't listen to advices that your friend told you, oh, I've made so much money, I just did that. Ask him how much he lost on the way, yeah? People don't talk about that, but there is a lot of loss. The other day, it was an interesting one. I spoke to a very nice lady and I asked her, what do you do for a living? She wanted to see me for advice. She says, I'm a day trader. Oh, fantastic. Oh, we've got a lot common, we're going to be chatting. It turned up, she's a day trader, but when I asked her how well you do, what do you invest in, we've realized she lost $2.5 million, okay? Within a very short period of time. Everything she's ever earned, she's lost within 2 years. That is shocking, okay? She's got mortgages, unpaid houses, so stressed that she's become sick, actually, to the point where she decided that she might not be able to have another child because she can't afford it. So you can't be a day trader because, I'm sorry, but how much have you lost? Everything. It's very stressful.
You shouldn't invest what you can't afford as well.
Just invest what you can afford. That 20% I've mentioned to you when you save, that's your investment. So you 50 you spend for your expenses, 30 you enjoy your life, whatever your number is, and that 20% is saving. When I say saving, this is your investment because you could even lose it, not the end of the world. That 20%, what you do with it, you maybe split in half and half. One do very risky and one vanilla, easy, nothing fancy, boring, but steady, 5 to 8% up. That's it. That's all you do. That's your investment. Or set up a vision board, have a goal. I want a house. Fantastic. How much is the house? Get the number. Work out what is the 20% out of that value. That's your deposit. How long will it take you to get that deposit? 5 years. Okay, how much do I need to save per month to get that in 5 years, 20% deposit? The number you know. That's it. 5 years time, you're buying a house, you pay deposit, you take the mortgage you can afford, and you're moving on. You have that house.
On that point about see how much it's going to cost, 20% of that, 5 years it's going to cost this much. I think, back to the gym analogy in dieting, when people are sticking to a diet, they're like, I need this many calories today, per day, and I'll lose this much weight. But they don't consider the weekend. They don't consider that they are going to take in extra calories, which messes up everything. Do you see people have a problem where they save exactly the right amount and then a medical emergency comes up, a car breaks down, something changes in their life? Would you say people need to save more than what they need?
No, because that emergency pot that I told you, 6 magic pots. So you've got a very good life, that's your 30%. You've got your emergency pot, that is always sitting in cash in your boring bank account. And when the car breaks down, that's what you pay for. And then you start rebuilding a little bit back. It might take you 6 months to rebuild the emergency pot. So that's where you take the money from, not from your savings. That 20% savings for future is non-negotiable. That's paying yourself first. Done. You put it away, you lock it, you can't touch it. You invest it, it's done, it's in the market, you're not pulling it back. That emergency pot, you could design, and that's where all these disasters that happens to us, that's where the money come from.
Very interesting. Now, I have a feeling there might be somebody watching who agrees with everything we're saying. Like, yes, I want this, I need to do that, I need to make big changes in order to achieve that. The problem is there's somebody in their life that makes it difficult. They've got a wife or a girlfriend that has grown accustomed to the way they've been spending money so far. They have children who have expensive taste. They have parents that they're helping out. Is it just going to be a matter of some difficult conversations?
Yeah, I see that a lot as well. Sometimes it's different cultures work very differently. Some cultures you don't even share. You don't even know what your husband makes or what your wife makes. You don't share this information. I think the finances we have to stop having it as a taboo. I think it should be very open discussion. It's not easy, but that's the partner you chose. Sometimes it's just not possible to change that person, I'm afraid to say. But you said children have expensive taste. Well, let me tell you, they're not born with expensive taste. It's the parents who created it. I'm sorry, education starts at home. My kids would have one iPad and they share. Why? Because that's the rules in my house. I just don't have 2 or 3 iPads, sorry. And, they have expensive taste, but I just don't allow that to happen. And I explain them why. Because mom and dad is working. I need to save money for your university if you want to go and study. If you have those open conversation about the money and you let them know how much things cost, how much we pay for rent, show them the water bill. When did people last time show their children a water bill? Never. But if they do, maybe when they brush their teeth, they wouldn't have it water running or shower for 3 hours. We don't have enough those conversations with the kids. Yeah? So I think, yes, some couples have a problem, but I think if the couple does a cute date, bring the big board from Lulu for 9 dirhams, get few magazines, which is actually hard to get these days. There's no even magazines around, but you can still purchase them. Put candle aside, have a cup of tea or glass of wine, whatever it might be, and design your future together. Where you're heading as a couple, yeah? What do you want to achieve every 5 years as a couple? Put it in pictures, do a few logos or your affirmations that suit your vision as a couple and build on that. Have fun with the pictures, do the numbers, magic numbers, understand what your 20% is. I think relationships would be better. I'm married 21 years, I know what I'm talking about. And it would be fun. I think the love would be stronger, the transparency. And even if there is a financial problems, my husband, when I married him with the loan, student loan. That's all he had. I paid my wedding £5,000 only. But I was working on a budget. Happiest wedding ever. It doesn't have to be expensive, but we're very open. This is the situation and we're in it together and we're building together. But these days, I work with blokes, yeah? It's quite a financial advisor. It's all full of guys. They say they're struggling to find a girl. All the girls are looking for financial security. And that it's really difficult to find a cute girl who is not looking for money. I was shocked to hear that. What did this world come to, But it's true. And I always teach ladies and youngsters, men should never be a financial plan, or a woman should never be a financial plan. You in it together. You bring something to the table. And if you bring something to the table, suddenly I think about being open about money. I don't know, the relationship is stronger. Yeah? Do you get me what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely understand you, because you're building something together.
You're building together. Me and my husband, everything is together. We've never separated. But then you've got couples who separate a washing powder. And they live so separately and they're married. And I'm like, wow, that's another level. I couldn't do it, but that's fine. It works for them. And I'm not judging. Fantastic. But they're at least talking about it, just talk about it. And to the kids.
Absolutely. Well, Svetia, I could talk to you for hours, but I'm
too.
afraid we're almost out of time. What is one last point that you'd like to give our viewers and listeners before we say goodbye?
Wow.
If there was one takeaway that we'd take away from this, apart from hire a financial advisor, what would it be?
Don't be shy to say no, to a family or friends. Why can't you do that? Or why don't you purchase that? Or why don't you have a flashy car?
Big wedding.
or big wedding. Just don't be afraid to say, why not? Just say no. I can't do that this month. So Faris, if you want to go out with me this month, I'm sorry, I can't this month, because this month I've purchased a business and I've got some expenses to do, but next month I will try to make it work. Okay, if you give them good explanation, I'm 100% sure convinced that they will agree with you and they will respect you for that. You probably don't realize you will earn massive respect. That
You might inspire some people.
Inspire 100%. So that would be my big take. Just say no, but explain very cleverly why, and they'll be impressed with you. I think you'll earn respect.
Svetlana Deshais, the money doctor. Thank you so much for being on Well Talk.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to catch the next episode where we're going to be talking to more industry leaders about all the things that we should be thinking about in our works and our lives.